In a rare public rebuke, a high-ranking Taliban official, Sher Mohammad Abbas Stanikzai, has made a bold appeal and called on the group's leadership to end the ban on education for women and girls in Afghanistan. He termed the regime's decision as a personal choice rather than an interpretation of Islamic law or Sharia. Stanikzai, who is the Taliban regime's Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs in the Taliban, said during a graduation ceremony at a religious madrasa in Khost province that the Islamic Emirate leadership should open the doors of knowledge to everyone. He appealed to the Taliban leadership to lift this restriction, stating that there is no justification for denying women education under Islamic law, adding that Islam has not prohibited women's education but rather permitted it. Stanikzai's statement comes at a time when the Taliban regime has drawn international condemnation over its restrictive policies, especially against women. Recently, the regime also barred women from attending medical and semi-professional institutes, the last higher education option which was available to women in the country. This was catastrophic for women who live in a country where they can only be treated by female doctors. This jeopardizes Afghan women's access to critical healthcare services. Sensing this, as well as the damage the restrictive policy of the Taliban has done to the group's global image, Stanikzai called for the group to shun its medieval-era ideology. Stanikzai suggested that the world is critical of the Taliban's curbs on women, and this is precisely the problem that they have with the Afghan government, which has not been officially recognized by any country, primarily over its treatment of the female population. This is not Stanikzai's first call for change in the Taliban regime's repressive policy. In the year 2022, he voiced similar sentiments, but the latest one was different and relatively harsh. It was for the first time that Stanikzai directly challenged the edicts issued by Taliban Supreme Leader Hibatullah Akhundzada. Stanikzai is considered to be a straightforward Taliban official who does not shy away from speaking against the outdated policies of the Taliban regime. Apart from criticizing the Taliban regime over the restrictive policies on women, Stanikzai in the past has criticized his government over their crackdown on the media. Trained in the Indian Military Academy in Dehradun in the 1980s, Stanikzai is remembered as an unremarkable gentleman candidate by his batchmates who don't remember him as a hardliner. Stanikzai was nicknamed Sheru by his batchmates at IMA. An ethnic Pashtun, Stanikzai was born in 1963 in Baraki, Barak district in Afghanistan. After studying political science, he joined IMA's Bhagat Battalion's Kiran Company and trained for 1.5 years. By the mid-1980s, Stanikzai passed out from the IMA in India and moved to join the Afghan army, where he served for over a decade. He fought the Afghan-Soviet war when the Russians invaded Afghanistan. This is when he became more political. Stanikzai turned towards the Taliban in 1996, where he rose as Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs and later Deputy Minister of Health till 2001. After the Taliban's fall in 2001, Stanikzai relocated to Doha, where he lived over a decade. He became among the group's most important and indispensable leaders and chief negotiators. He became the group's leader of political office in 2015.